Good morning. Hello, everybody. Change a couple things right there. Okay. Yes, good morning. Welcome to Mid Morning Medium Chat with Adam the Black Swamp Medium. How is everybody today? I don't know where you guys are at, but it is beautiful outside right now. I mean, cool. Let's see, where we at temperature wise? 21 where I'm at. But it is it's really, really sunny. Oh, Nicole. Good morning to you. How are we today, Nicole? Please tell us in the comments section how the weather is in South Africa. I'm quite curious. Because as I said, it is, quite chilly here, and I'm sure, your summer is a lot better than mine. Hello, good morning, Ramona. Hey, Rachel. What's up, Jeff? I'm sure it is a good hangover. Hey, Carrie, how are you? Good morning. Good to see you all waking up. Woohoo! Good morning, Margaret. So yeah, um, yeah, we're gonna. I didn't. Wow, I was running around this morning, so I'm kind of a little discombobulated. I guess it's a pretty good word to use at the moment. But um, I mean, you guys know typically what the gist of is in these mornings as we kind of wrong. Yeah. That was I got to go in and out in the call. I can't I can't do it when I'm laughing because it's too funny. I said I would. Did I not say I would do that today? Oh man. Yep. Anyway, yeah, so we're yeah, it's late night type of thing. I got things going off here. Um yeah, so it was a pretty decent week, I mean, my food not coming. Well, yeah, the dogs do that, don't they, Mark? um, yeah, yeah, I mean, it was a good week. So I mean, like I said, I won't horse around. We'll kind of dive into it a little bit, but pretty good week, obviously. From getting over a cold and things like that. Hey, good morning, Jennifer, and so definitely got a lot more energy back, and a lot of you may or may not have caught the Wednesday show, which was a pop up. Hey, Dana, good morning, and yeah, it was that was kind of fun. I shouldn't say kind of fun. It was a lot of fun, actually. I mean, if anybody that saw that one, I was pretty much I was having a great time. So good morning, Kelly. Good morning, Laura. And yeah, I was so excited to finally do that. My schedule's finally starting to open back up, and it's weird just to have that kind of energy, flowing back through. Good morning, Carmen. And so yeah, it was really exciting to pop on for a little bit, kind of catch everybody up, and I'll kind of do that again just a little bit for those that didn't see the Wednesday night pop-up show, as I called it. But yeah, so it was a lot of fun. But I was trying to catch everybody up, and talking about being sick, and it was kind of, in a way, it was good that it wasn't a long-lasting thing. It wasn't the other thing, even though a few people have said that maybe you did have the thing, and because it was just a nose thing, but the thing was it was so fast. It wasn't anything really long term, and it would be weird because then I'd classify myself as having it three times, without being confirmed, but just knowing the standard symptoms and whatnot. But uh yeah, it was weird because it was Wednesday, last Wednesday, over a week ago, it was bad in started getting bad. And then I stayed home Thursday, and it was just, running really bad, but everything else was fine. I didn't, other than being tired because I wasn't sleeping, but we also had, the full moon that week, and it was pretty traumatic. And then hearing other holistic practitioners, were under the same thing, kind of this insomnia stuff, which I thought was weird, but at the same time, comforting to know that it wasn't just me, because I'm like, how do you get sick and not want to go to sleep. They don't go together. That's how I was looking at it. I really was blown away that, that Wednesday night, I mean, barely an hour, and it was, I don't know how I don't know how I would have made it. If I would have tried to drive into work that Thursday, I don't know how it would have been because it would have been rough. I mean, I think anybody would be in the same boat. It's like, how do you hardly sleep an hour? And for those of us that, which isn't many, have to drive it's a significant distance to work and to try to somehow stay awake, and it's horrible. And so I just knew I better be safe because like I talked about on Wednesday, it's like, I really, and I've talked about it before, but I'm really, really trying to be a little bit more cautious with the things that are going in, in and around me, and take care of myself because obviously, I feel bad, I mean, if I can't, be on a show, or I can't make an event, or and all the things that happen, or it's part of life in general. But um at the same time, when you're feeling horrible, you as much as you want to be, still do the things that you love to do, and then not to be able to do it, it just kind of breaks you a little bit. And um most of you can tell that I'm pretty open about things when it comes to, I'm going to share things. I'm going to I'll shed some tears on camera. It doesn't bother me. So I mean, like they say, you get your heart on your sleeve type of thing. And it's good to have that sort of thing, but at the same time you can kind of be open a little too much, and you could definitely uh, create some other issues along the way. But that's the thing, is you got to make a decision and then you got to live with it. So, but yeah, so I mean, it was exciting to know that, Wednesday technically officially was, this week I was finally like, the schedule was opening up. My doesn't mean that every single day during the week it might not still have something smaller, like some homework and stuff like that for the kids, which has been tolerable, even with the other stuff that was going on. And but at least knowing now, the next several months, the during the week I'm going to have some freedom. And you know there's um there's some other things that might happen. Like I said, on Wednesday, I want to do, some more pop-ups. I want to do some reading shows, a little bit more consistently, which is, what I've been trying to plan for a whole year. But um and then, there's been a couple other shows that were interested in having me on, but they're during the week. And so I, had to keep saying no, for all of January and February. And so now we'll hopefully get some of those scheduled. So I'll be on some other shows, coming up soon. And but then, like I said, I wanted to do some more things. And some of the reading shows I'll try to do in the evenings, but I'm not going to do them on certain nights that I know other people that, I do watch. I know Jeff and Dana, from Boo Productions are in the chat, and they do a show, Wednesday night. I've been on their show, and it's I'd hate to interfere with something, with the people that I care about, and I don't want to pull anybody away from them, type of thing. And so again, that's me trying to be a little bit more careful and cautious, you know, and not upset anybody, because that would never be the true intention of it. But at the same time, I want to, still pop some things in there when I can. But there's a couple days, during the week that would work out. Sometimes Mondays and Wednesdays a little bit more. Doesn't mean that there isn't other shows that maybe some of you watch, and I'm just not familiar with those and stuff, because there's a lot of shows out there, and it's not unusual for, there's enough all week that you can jump on some show, and another great show that I've been on, and even had this person on my show once, was hey Chad, how you doing? Good morning. Oh, sweet. Oh my gosh, I forgot that. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I forgot that they had that up there. I mean, I needed to, I got to get up there one time for that. That would be oh man. See, even that, hey Chad, check this out, buddy. Another new mug. Trying to expand my collection of Norse Viking, cups and things. I have a couple other new bone ones and stuff like that that I got that I'll have to use sometime. This one's at least lined to where I can have some hot coffee in it. So, but uh, but I want to be able to that one. I have another bone one that's just you can only put cold beverages in it. So not that a cold beverage doesn't consist of something else, but I don't know. I don't think you could see might not be able to see the steam coming off my coffee. So, but yeah. So, but other than that, like I said, I wanted to get some other things planned, and I'm going to try to take today and tomorrow to plan out the next show, or at least pop up show. Uh, it'll definitely be I think the next one will still be another reading show. At least I want to provide a little bit more time for it instead of like Wednesday. I just kind of talked for a little bit and then we jumped into it. So I couldn't get to everybody, which again, I feel bad about, but at the same time, totally understandable. That I was limited because even then I got to get to bed. Some of us got to wake up at 3:30 in the morning to get ready for work. So, you know, trying to get to bed at a decent hour and get a couple hours of sleep is, a good thing. Oh, that's cool. Cool, Chad. Yeah, I have been there. It's just been a while. I think it might have been 2018 was the last time I was there. And then obviously we were planning to go again in 20, but obviously 2020, everything changed. So oh, cool, man. Well, you know what, Chad, if it works out, man, we'll definitely have to connect. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to get to a couple of those this year if I can. Yeah, because it's only a couple hours from where I live, so it's not that bad of a drive for me. So yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I'll definitely we'll stay in touch. That's for sure. So if we make it up there, then yeah, we'll definitely have to connect. We'll come over to the tent and hang out for a little bit. But uh, yeah, so you guys will just have to start looking out for some of those. Like I said, I want to try to figure out the next one this weekend. I still want to plan a flute performance for you guys. That'll definitely be on a weekend, Saturday or Sunday, and in the afternoon. Because I don't want to try to get everything ready so early in the morning and stuff like that. And even then, for have you all starting to wake up and things like that, I'd rather do that in the afternoon. I get time to set everything up because everything behind me is going to be a lot different. There's not going to be a green screen. There'll be a hanging banner or a backdrop, but I need the space so I can stand up because it's a little hard to play, sitting down. I mean, one song or two is no big deal, but I'm constantly changing out flutes for the whole time. So there's definitely gonna be another. There definitely will be a flute performance near and soon. And then, hey Rhonda, good morning. And then there will be, like I said, I want to do some various reading shows. One just straight up, whether it's my guides or whatever's around whoever I'm doing a reading for, come through. I still love the cards, still love my oracle cards and things. So I still want to use those. There's still some new ones out there that I want to do. And a couple of them I might, you know, there might be a pre-selection reading show that I've been pondering where I might only be able to take a few of them because the readings will be a little bit longer. But I think just to get you guys an idea of what it would be like if we were to, do a session privately, because I'm going to have to throw a few cards out and then it's reading each card uh, as it is pertaining to things in your life. So, but I think I might do like a handful of those. But I have to practice it a little bit in a way so I know what the timing is. Because then if I say we're going to do, an hour of these, then, I'll probably just have, people hit me up privately or on a show, or I'll maybe throw up like a poll or something. And then, there's something to that effect where I can get people to sign up, and then I'll just take whatever I know that'll fit within the hour, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, there's another deck that I'd love to bring into action, so to speak, and I think that'll be kind of fun for everybody to check out. And then again, it just in the future when I start doing more personal, going to events, which there's a few which I'm going to bring up. When you get on, when you go there, I'll have I'll definitely bring decks because if people, want one of my decks that they've seen on the show, or, then we can just, whip those out and, do a session that way. So, yeah, and then I just said, there's one event which I did not get actually, I wonder if I can do it real quick. Yeah, I think I can. Let me see. Or is it going to be a pain in the? Mm-hmm. It might be a little, yeah, it's not going to go as clear. Anyway, well, you guys always know you can always go to my wall and you can take a look at things if you need to, and scroll down past some of the videos or any posts that I have. But there is one event that I'm confirmed for, and it's going to be in Winchester, Indiana on May 14th. So that's a Saturday. And it's the Para Cafe, they call it the 101 Para Cafe. They're going to have a holistic fair during the day, and then there's a ghost hunt at night. So there's a couple different ticket packages that you can go through. So if you're not interested in the ghost hunt, you can just do the holistic fair part. There's going to be several of us, doing readings. We're also going to have some personal events within the event. I'm there's going to be several of them. Friends of mine are going to be doing some gallery readings, and I wanted to do something a little bit more creative, but at the same time a little different. So, if it tickles your fancy, then you can sign up for it. But I'm going to be doing I have from between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. I'm going to be doing a sound healing journey for anybody that wants to sign up for it. And if you go to my page, you can see there's a ticket link and everything there. But basically, I'll talk for a few minutes, and then I'm going to play the flutes, just much like I would like if we were going to do it, here where it's a meditation. But the concept behind it is being bombarded with frequencies and other stuff, other energies that I will, pass on to everybody. Cause we all could use some healing, whether it's mental or physical, we all can use a little bit. And so, hey, good morning, Tanya. And so that'll be a pretty cool session. So I'll play for about 30 minutes. And then the last, five or, whatever amount of time's left, 5 or 10 minutes, we'll kind of talk about it if anybody wants to share, what their experience is. Cause sometimes that helps others too. When you share like what you experienced during the sound healing, or you don't have to, but you can tell me privately, that sort of thing. But it does help when you get to share things that are happening. And, because sometimes somebody be like, oh my gosh, that did happen to me too. I just didn't want to say it, but so yeah, so that's going to be all on May 14th. And again, like I said, you can go to my page, you can get the ticket links and stuff like that. Margaret, are you going to go to the Michigan Parafest? I don't know. I'm trying to double check my schedule right now. There, it never fails. There's always things they're popping up or going on, and I always have to be careful about it. And it stinks because I keep saying I want to go, and then something happens, or I gotta the one time I had to back out on purpose, and I was confirmed to go, and then stuff happened and I couldn't, and I'm like, "Eeh." So yeah, I got to get myself up to that one for sure. Um, so that's definitely on the horizon. I have another one that have not posted about it yet because there's still some details working out, but I'm just going to talk about it, but I'm not going to say where, but it's in July, and it's an outdoor, um, and I know if Carrie's still in here, she'll know what I'm talking about, but so it's confirmed enough, but I a lot of other little inside details haven't been finished, but there's plenty of time. But yeah, in July, I'm going to be doing like an outdoor holistic fair, and it's a really cool one. I mean, from talking to Carrie, who's, hopefully still in the chat room, and then uh, the lady who is in charge of it, who's the property that we be on, there is, it's huge. It's been growing. And so they do during the warmer months, they do one a month. And just from a scheduling standpoint, there was I think I only had 2 months available out of the window that they hold it. And so July is going to be where I'm going to do that. But I'm focusing a little, not that I'm not doing mediumship, but I'm going to be focusing more on a big flute performance for them. So we haven't nailed down what kind of show they want for me, because I threw out what I can do. And plus I can, I still vary them anyway. But it could be a couple different styles of the shows that I do, do music wise. So that'd be kind of fun and cool. And uh, but yeah, so that event's going to be in July. And then after that, a lot of question marks all over the place. A lot of other things that are just kind of like waiting to see or waiting to hear back, or that kind of thing. So that's typical for a lot of people that want to do more events. And even then, just me wanting just to attend to support people. I mean, I think I don't know if it's next weekend or the weekend after, but There's one up in Michigan. There's a Potographs event, which, I kind of talked about it before, but um, that one's happening up in Houghton Lake, and that's been a big one. I think this is year 3 for it. Um, and then I'm trying to think. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. Is there's a lot of great events that are continuing on, or opening back up again, because obviously the pandemic really did a number on us all. So we're not all around and about. So we'll see how that goes. Kelly, I want to go to Mid Michigan so bad, but it was always at the worst time. Yeah, I mean, Mid Michigan, and even then Mid Michigan's Parafest is now switched locations, so now that one's in a casino, instead of at a near Flint in a Holiday Inn. So they've moved locations. I'm not sure about that one yet. If I am, I might be going just as myself. My other personality, my street person self. Um, uh, yeah, so I don't know if I haven't decided if I wanted. I mean, I need to hurry, but wasn't gonna. I just didn't know, because I always try to keep my options open, for other things that may be going on. Um, Not that there's anything wrong, it just, you never know if there's always something else that I might want to jump on, especially if it's not even around here, but somewhere else. I'd love to expand and reach out to other places I haven't been to, or haven't been to in a long time, and I like to get back to it. So, but then again, like Mid Michigan's in November, our Parafest is in November. So yeah, Mid Michigan's usually the first Sunday of November, and we're the second Saturday of the month. So we're just starting to work out our stuff, so there's nothing confirmed yet, but we're looking at, I mean, it'll be year 9 for us, if we get a good lineup that we're happy with. And in fact, last night, which I'm going to talk about before we get into my topic, leaving last night, I got to go to the old mill, which was something I kind of brought up in a post yesterday. It was a sneak peek, and so I got to go back to the old mill, which is, you guys know, most of you know that's the location that our team, SWPI, hosts public and private investigations, as well as our Parafest. And it was great to be back. I mean, it was crazy think that this is one of my longer stretches that I've not been there in so long, because the last time I was there was in November at our Parafest. So it was weird to kind of get back there, but at the same time, amazing. And oh man, was our spirits, all our spirits that are our friends, man, they were active last night. The place was just all over the place, and it was more of it was sort of a team thing. Yet it was also a birthday party for our founder's granddaughter, and she had a bunch of her friends, and we also a few of us invited, Fox and I. Fox is another teammate of mine. We invited a couple friends from the local team by me, and there's, in the chat room is Jeff, Dana, and Carmen from Togs. And we just wanted to give it, let them have a good sneak peek of what was happening. Because we've been, trying to get their team up to the mill for a long time now. And, and again, it's all schedules. It's all trying to get the schedules worked out. And, when you have a lot of team members and all these different schedules, and then, us, the mill being, booked and things, it's always a pain, but but it was great to have them check it out and do some investigating. And I think it worked out. Now granted, I didn't get to do a good debrief of them because I was hanging out with the girl, a lot of the kids, so to speak. I mean, they're all teenagers, but handling them and stuff. Hey Debbie, good morning. And but it was fun to kind of see the kids all excited about stuff. And oh, okay, cool, Kelly. Yep. Yeah, it is. Yeah, we love that place. And but yeah, it was kind of fun. There was I'm not going to share it because I'm going to let Boo Productions, Jeff and Dana, do it. But I think I heard, because I didn't see it because I was busy, but I heard that that oh gosh, where was I going with that? Well, I heard that they were going to be, they wanted to try some experiments. I mean, granted, the place was a little bit more busy, but our mill's big enough to where you can stretch out, and it's not be totally on top of everybody, but we did get to do one experiment, and it had some pretty good results. And again, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say anything further than that. So I'll let Jeff and Dana do it, because that was, it was their thing. So I'm not. I mean, I guess I could take a little credit for it because I was involved, but it was their idea and um, their execution of it. So I'll let them handle all that stuff on their show, or however they want to do it. But I'm sure they have to go through a couple different cameras and then put them together to see what happens. But even just talking about it afterwards, it was seemed pretty good to me. so so hopefully you guys will get to check that out. You'll have to ask them if they're going to present that publicly or whatever. So there you go. Okay, there's Jeff right there. Becoming on that field. Well, like I said, Jeff, that's your guys' thing. And I said, again, I want to respect everybody and all their things. But I mean, I guess, okay, I'll do this, Jeff. I'll just touch it, but I won't say the details as far as that. But Jeff has been, was always curious about my remote viewing. And, it's where basically, for those that haven't heard me talk about it before, that I can essentially step out of myself, and some hear it. So what I call it remote viewing, but there's also astral projection. Very similar in definitions, just minor little things that are a little different about it. But when I learned it, it was just called remote viewing. But like I said, the best way to put it is like, I'm going to jump out of myself. So my spirit, my ghost-like image, can go to another location and check things out. I can see things, uh sometimes hear things. It's different for everybody that does it. Last night I didn't hear things, but that's the one thing I will say. But I can see what's going on. I can know what's going on, and then try to collect information and stuff, and then come back to myself, jump back into my body, and then essentially wake up. So when they put that out there, you'll see me, sitting in a chair, not a lot of verbal stuff coming from me, because it's, I'm partially, I'm in my body, but I'm not. So you kind of hear me that my voice changes a little bit, and I'm just basically giving quick little things of what was happening. But at the same time, even afterwards, when we were all sitting talking about it, they were still filming. So then you can actually hear me describe a little bit more of what was going on, because again, some of it I'm collecting, some of it I'm just trying to make sure that they know what's happening from a timeline perspective. But I was able to be in one room, and with Dana and Carmen, and then Jeff, Fox, and Kennedy were in another location. And so I went to that location within the location, and tried to do some things, tried to get, attention, tried to just, show that remote viewing, astral projection does exist. It does work. And like I said, there was a couple of moments where, you know, even hopefully it's on camera, but it was hilarious that there was, a couple of things that happened that I mentioned. It was like, no way. I'm like, yes way. so you'll have to, when they put it all together, you guys I think will get kicked. Even I want to see it too, just to kind of go through it. But I've never watched myself, do a remote viewing. So it'd be weird to see what I look like. Not that I'm weird already, but yeah, so it was a really good time last night. I mean, there was a couple of things I'm not going to touch on, but it was just nice to be back. It was nice to see a lot of there's many spirits that, I'm really fond of and really close to. And it was really great to get to see them again, and just, feel the love and the friendship and stuff, and just to say hi to them, and hang out with them for a little bit, because some of them are really attached to me, not in that a way, but attached in the sense that they know I can talk to them, they can hear me. And I think that's the great part is, and that's sort of like what a lot of us that care about this field, it's not about trying to be on TV or trying to be famous. I want the information, the research. I'm trying to help further the field. I mean, even if it's a small part, that's my whole point. I mean, that all that other stuff, if it happens, okay, sure, I'll jump on and do that stuff. But at the same time, I want to learn more. I want to share more information to everybody because that's the whole point. We can't take the field any further if we don't do, investigating. We don't do some research and we expand for what we know now. But what are the other questions? What are the other mysteries that we still haven't touched on? Uh, so I'm always constantly trying to further it, and being able to go to the mill as often as I usually can, it's great that every time I'm there and a little bit more just helps open that picture a little bit bigger and answer more questions for all of us that we all want to know. Um, let's see. And then Jeff's writing, what do we got, Jeff? We had at least one thing happen that was undeniable proof that you were there with us, plus many more people that say that was something, even though we know it was you. Right. Right. Yep. But yeah. Yep. And so, yeah, so it's one of those cool things, and so I, love every chance I get to be there, and there's been other locations that I've been able to go back to, a little bit more often. Obviously the last few years have been tough, but there's been a couple key locations around where I live that I've you make friends real quickly, and a lot of them do appreciate the fact that you can see them and talk to them, and uh that helps a lot. you know and but not that you have to be a medium at all. You can certainly use the equipment and still make friends with them, and they get used to you, you get used to them, and then you just expand. So yeah, but I think that's kind of cool because it does segue into my topic, because I wanted to make sure we get to that. And in fact, let me, as I like to do now, I want to try to pop it up on the screen so we know where we're at in the show. But yeah, I wanted to talk about crossing over and basically, passing away, dying. Uh, I think it's an interesting topic that even still to today, that right, Dana. Yep. Yep, absolutely. We can always improve. Well, yeah, I mean, it's, you never know how it's going to work for everybody, and this, try different things. So, but yeah, I think a lot of paranormal investigators, it's not as, you know, not too worrisome any, more mediums, especially. Any of us that communicate with the other side, it's like it's not a big deal, you know. But I think it's fascinating. You still see a great number of people that are just so afraid of, whenever their final day is. And uh, I can say this with a smile on my face, because when I thought about, this topic, this week and stuff, I knew this was a line that I was going to say, but I'm like, I wanted to tell everybody. I said, if you're afraid of passing away, stop it. It's truly, just stop it. uh, Everybody always thinks, and I'm going to bounce around a little bit, but we all know, every one of us that's in existence at this point in time is going to lose their physical body. It's we can't live that long, you know what I mean? And there's other things that our spirit, our souls need to move on and go to the next thing. And now, again, this isn't going against anybody's beliefs and stuff like that. In fact, it's kind of goes along with it. So you don't have to necessarily be religious, but even if you are, they all tie in together. So there's no real differences there, uh, because we're all going to see pretty much the same thing. So, but but in general, I want people to realize that, as much as I can say it with a straight face without smiling anymore, but passing away is not the worst thing that can happen to you. Okay. Um, it's it's really a beautiful thing, regardless of the situation of when it is your time. You know, whether it's from an illness or a disease, whether it's something sudden, accident of some sort, there is still a beautiful moment to that. And I think that's what people don't know, because they haven't experienced it. They haven't seen people per se, pass away. I've been in the room when somebody's passed away, and it was, I was still quite young, but not that young. But I've seen it. I know, and I think that might have been the moment, or at least a small little light bulb that started to turn on, that got some of my interest interest in the field going, because some of the wording, that it was my mom's uncle that passed in front of me, that it's what he said, that it's just, undeniable. And even then, to, just to be there, I wasn't doing this stuff yet, but still feeling it, it's just, it's different. um let's see, what did he say in Jeff? Crossing over, it's unethical to cross people over that aren't being asked to. I know a lot of Viscos immediately try to cross spirits over, well, maybe they shouldn't. So what happens, so I look at it like this, there, and I'm just, and I want to stop for questions and things. um so helping somebody cross over, yes, there's many times that when you do cross over, it's the old saying that a lot of us know, you know why didn't they go all the way? Why didn't they finish crossing over? You know, was it sudden and they weren't ready for it? So in a way, they're lost. Is it because they didn't finish something outright? Is there still goals and family they want to still take care of? Uh, is it because they just they refuse to go? Hey, good morning, dude. Are they refusing to go? They just don't want to go. Now whether that's out of anger or whether that's out of fear, hard to say unless you are talking to that said spirit. So there's different things that we have to look into. Um, I find a lot of the time, it is sort of, you get these people that just don't want to go and they're cranky over it and they just want to cause problems. You know what I mean? And then you got some that are afraid. Now, I've personally have crossed over many children because they were young when they passed and they don't understand what's going on. Not that anybody does, especially back, over the decades and hundreds of thousands of years. But, you know, what are you supposed to do when you go? What I mean? you know is there it's not like illuminated lighting on the ground and you're just going to walk down. It's not always point blank right there in front of you that makes it easy. But and I'm only laughing because it's crazy to think. But again, whether you believe it or not, majority of us have been through that process before, but it's weird is that we've been clouded from it, so we don't get to remember it as much. So I think that's why there's always that mystery. Why does it why do we fear it? Is it because it's the unknown? How many of you are sitting here listening and you're afraid to do something because you just don't know what the result's going to be? You got risk takers that don't mind doing that because if it works out, then it's great, and if it doesn't work out, they'll just find something else to try again. So a lot of us we've grown up in a way that where we're not a lot of us take those chances. And so which is kind of sad because I mean, we're all guilty of it. I try not to do it as much. I try to teach my kids not to do it as much too. You got to try things, which again, that's my bad word. Don't say try, but you just have to do it. And, do as much as you can. And, because you just don't want to have that what if or, sort of playing in the back of your head. But yeah, so I mean, I look at it, Jeff, that if when I would communicate with the said spirit and I can get it out of them enough to where they do truly want to go, they just need the help. Again, like where it's been kids, I've done that. Uh, I will help. I will escort them as far as I can. There's a limitation for what I've experienced that I can only go so far, which is usually about halfway to three-quarters of the way, because I can't go any further or that's going to break a piece of me apart. No, I'm not going to like die, or pass away from if I go too far. But at the same time, there's a process that I've experienced and learned along with helping crossing spirits over, that when I do that, that last little bit is beneficial to that spirit, whatever it is, or whoever it is I'm helping. They have this kind of confidence thing that they did do it on their own, so to speak, and it wasn't just me walking them right in. You know what I mean? and it's shown better results for me. I'm not saying anything different about anybody else's techniques and stuff, but it's just what's worked for me, and I'm happy with it, and that's something I'm proud of for my aspect of it. But yeah, I if it comes down to it, and they really want to go, uh, we'll certainly will. Or if they've shared information, even like documented evidence, EVPs and things, helping cross over, whatever might be captured in an EVP, or maybe like through an ovulus or something that they really don't want to be here and they want to go. Absolutely, there's no reason to hold them back. And the cool thing is even once you cross over, doesn't mean that they can't come back and visit. That happens all the time. How many people out there have had their grandparents, or one of them, or a friend or something, come back, and you can definitely tell it was them. Maybe it's a smell, maybe it's maybe you hear their voice or something. That so it's not like once you get there you can't come back and visit. That's typically like one of those rules that you get to. And I tell a lot of people, when they've lost somebody, talk to them, ask them to be with you for the day. Get up, and maybe it's going to be a rough day, or it is a rough day. Hey, grandma, can you come sit with me for the rest of the day? I mean, I may not know you're right there with me the whole time, but could you please be here with me? I really need you. And you put it out there just like that. You set that intention, and they will come back, and they have to. It's just like a rule. Family wants, if you want your family member there, they're going to be there. So yeah, I would totally be into, if they really want to go, like a lot of kids, boom, they're going. So hopefully that's where you're going with that. Just reading real fast. Come through a dream, send a message to her, Jerry Butter. Oh, okay, Margaret. Yeah, that's interesting. Oh, Debbie, you've seen a few. Okay, yeah. Well, and Justin, yeah, I mean, dreaming about him is great, because that's, a lot of people that don't do mediumship, that don't, can't sense them in a way. They can't feel them or smell, like their scents and things. Hey, Rodney, good morning. Having them in a dream is what's the easiest for people that don't do the communicating, like medium out there. Because when we're in our deepest sleep for the night, it's, our dreamlike state. That's when they will come and visit. And that's the cool thing, is because then you get to experience them like mediums do. And it's truly a beautiful thing. And I always encourage people that, even you don't have to do mediumship, but just encourage your loved ones to come visit you in a dream. Doesn't mean they're going to show up instantly in that dream that night. Sometimes they have to, if they haven't done it a whole lot, they got to figure out how to get inside your dreams. But you just have to set the intent right. Make sure you're throwing love behind it, and just ask them, please come visit. You know what I mean? And the and they do. I mean, it happens a lot, and it's weird is that you see it to where they show up for a little while, and then they don't show up for a long time. And sometimes they've given the information that they wanted to share with you, even though you want them to be there all the time. But see, then again, are you doing that just because, or do you really have questions, or do you really want that notion of them being there? Yes, in a dream you can see them. You might be able to touch them and talk to them and interact, because that's what we're used to. We're used to having communications, whether it's on a video, whether it's in person, and that sort of thing. We're used to that. The other side's a whole little different ball game. We don't always get the visual stuff. You might just notice that you can feel like somebody's staring at you, not in a creepy way, like if you were doing an investigation, but there's a presence next to you. You might not get the whole facts, but somebody's there for you. So happens a lot. Like when I'm in public, you can definitely tell there's things around, and I say things in general because it could be anything, but it's really, important to just throw it out there. Like I said, may not be that night. And again, they have to find out what the best time is. Plus, even for you, what happens if you're not you didn't have a great day? So you're like, your head's in a different spot. So how are you going to dream, when you're not like, and it's not like you can set yourself up to be in a perfect state of mind to be like, tonight, I'm feeling so great. I've had and then they don't show up, and it's like, but I was in the best spot. A lot of times your family members and your guides, they're going to come through it at the best time that they know that you're going to receive whatever messages or just the experience of it all. So you can't stress over it, and don't be mad, because if you get mad, that's just going to it's just gonna extend that out a little bit more. So never get upset that they don't come by, or they don't give you that feeling that they're right there next to you. So okay. Kelly, do you think people can visit in your dream when they haven't passed but they're close? Yes, absolutely, Kelly. Yeah, well, and you think about it, just what I was talking about earlier about the remote viewing. Um, yeah, I can, can literally get up and go to somebody and do something. Technically, when Jeff and Dana show the videos, you're going to get a taste of that. You're going to see that it is possible to go visit somebody. Now, did they intend for it? We don't know unless we were asking that person. So like you said, they were, cousin was in hospice. So uh were they trying to get a final message to you? Were they just trying to, share something, or just, a lot of times you get that, there's been many times that even after they've crossed over, they've come and visited, you know, somebody in the family, and then continue to the next part of the crossing over stages. So yeah, it's very common. You don't hear a lot, because you don't hear a lot of people talk about it. So it's great that you did that, Kelly. So I appreciate you mentioning that and asking about it. But yeah, absolutely. It's a cool thing. But at the same time, it could be kind of, sad, they're in rough shape, and it's just a matter of time. But it's neat too, that they can kind of get that message. And sometimes they want to do that because they want you to sort of, make them remember who they are or how they were. And, because who knows, what they might just be racing to the next phase. Maybe they want to get that message out now and then go, So it we don't always know what each person's thinking of when they're at that point. But yeah, I think that's great. So let's see, Jeff, I really connected to the spirit and story. It was a private moment, no evidence, but a connection. It was weird. Yep. Yep. Yes, that can happen. It's called a crisis apparition. Thank you, Margaret. I thought I was going to find out that he was gone the next day. Yeah, well, and even then, like I said, sometimes it's just that their final messages, that they feel like they're going to get across. And again, doesn't mean that, once they do, they're not going to share some stuff later on once they feel comfortable. Yeah. So, but like I said, you know, it's not scary. And it's one thing I wanted to address, is that what everybody should know is that when it is your time, you're not going, so even if it's something that you're, like I said, if it's an illness or, some type of um situation, that's, a lot of us always say, we don't want to feel pain when we die. Well, guess what? You don't. You truly don't. Now, even if it's an accident, or it's something that you have, an illness of some sort that, is what's end up taking you from this life, literally moments, and it varies a little bit from person to person, but sometimes it's seconds, sometimes it's a few minutes, but you will not feel any discomfort. You will not feel any pain. This is documented, so I'm not just making this up. It's well documented. There's enough evidence out there that suggests this. And for me, getting to experience a lot, you uh, not passing away, but dealing with it, and communicating with a lot of spirits on the other side. It's just, they say, the same thing when you do talk about it. It's like, because some people want to know, were they in pain when they passed away? And, in the beginning, when I started doing mediumship, I would ask those questions, and it was always the same answers. It was like, no, I'm good. And, yeah, some of them are sad that they left, that it was their time. But as far as being in pain, that's just non-existent. We're set up to where that's not supposed to be the case. We're not supposed to feel discomfort. We're not supposed to feel pain when we go. So whether it's a few seconds or a few minutes, hey, good morning, Donna. Hope you got some rest. But you're not going to be in a state. And like I said, it could be something violent, something tragic, and it still doesn't matter. You're going to have a few seconds of that. And so it's really, really special to it's funny, not that I'm throwing it out there, but even I'm excited when that my day comes. Not for a long time. That's not my intent, is to go soon. But my I look forward to it. And again, not, just because of everything I have done, but it's that whole thing. It's the excitement of it all. I'm so excited to go, and whether it's naturally, whether it's from something, or an accident or something. Hopefully none of it. Hopefully it can be natural and I could just go to sleep and then wake up, and I'll be where I need to be. That would be fantastic. But I am excited, and um, even and this is going to sound weird. Actually, let me read a couple comments first, real quickly. Um, so yeah, Justin's got a good point, or a good question. When you do pass away, will your loved ones be around? Now, that depends on the person. Um, it really depends on the person. So many times, and it's documented, that yes, sometimes when they think the person is going to need that extra helping hand to the other side, or they set that intention up long before they got to a point where they were about ready to go. It is not uncommon for, let's say, in a hospice or in a hospital setting, that you will see, the person that's dying, say, "Oh my gosh, this person's over here and this person's over here," and they're looking around the room and they're seeing all the people that they knew. Maybe it's their parents, their grandparents. It's not uncommon. So some of them do that, to help the comforting stage of it, because they don't want them to fear, because maybe that person that's in the bed is afraid of the whole process. And so you have your family coming there and they're circling you and being like, "We got this, you're going to be so much better than you are now." And it's a amazingly beautiful thing. So I think, why does it happen to some people? Stuff, I guess I can only go off the theories of, what I've experienced. That, again, I think it depends on the person that is passing, of, how they were, while they were alive, how they were as a type of person that would open it up. Did they throw that out there? Did they want, others to be there to help them? Or is it just the family members cared so much about them that they're excited to now join them? They're, then they're there. So, um, let's see. And Jennifer is saying, exactly, it may appear to us that experience pain, but they typically are not. They're at the body and the point when pain is typically can be experienced. Yep. Um, hey, Deborah. Um, Margaret, yes, I think it does get to you. Rodney, yeah, they might if they commit. Well, here's the thing, Rodney. Technically, it's so yeah, I could see your point when it comes to certain aspects of suicide, but even certain ones, they're still going to be seconds. So they're still seconds, and there's just not enough there. I have connected with more than I would like, people that have committed suicide, and I've experienced what they went through. I felt the things that they felt, and yeah, it's not a pleasant, but at the same time, that moment, as everything is separating, they're still at peace. Yeah, we obviously don't want that to be, the end result altogether, but there still is seconds that they do have the peace that they really did want, that release, from whatever it is was plaguing them mentally, and physically too. So yeah, it's not, we all see it, sometimes it's bad or sometimes it's just going to, yeah, it's not always the case. I mean, dying is dying. There's it's just how we're dying. That there's the only difference is what it's going to be or how it's going to be. So, but yeah, you still going to have that moment where it's just that peace. It's yes, some of it can be painful up to that point, but again, that moment that it happens, it's not there anymore. So, um, let's see. Uh, Justin, can you just you said, will it be someone you know? Um, clarify that? Are you talking about like if they're going to be with you at the end? Typically it is, they will, usually it's family members. It's never, if the family members know that they want you to feel comfortable when you're going over, yeah, it's going to be somebody, it's now you could have guides. Now I haven't heard it too much that your guides can help you through it and get you to go to the next side. I haven't heard that too much. I on the other hand, it should be a whole, it should hold, it should be a whole civilization coming to help me out. Not that I need the help, but I can imagine all my guides, all the people that I've helped and family members and things. Yeah, it could be a crowded room. I I wouldn't want any holistic people in the room when I go. They're just gonna open the door, going, "Nope, I can't go in there." That's a lot of energy. So, um, I don't know if that'll be the case. I will make some decisions when things get a little bit closer. I mean, I have some in place now, but you know, knowing and helping out many people crossing over, as far as once they've already crossed over, but helping them get to the end. uh I've seen enough to where I think I'm pretty good on the pathway. It doesn't have to be all lit up for me to go. So um and Jen was saying my mom saw my dad. He came to guide her across, and she didn't want to. Yeah, she still didn't want to go. Yeah, and you still get the family. I mean, nobody wants to go. We all want to live as long as we possibly can live. And sure. I mean, heck, I'd love to be 200, 300 years old. I mean, I would love to go that far. But in some regard, besides being excited when that day happens, which is not going to be anytime soon. Well, that's not my intent. But when it is my time, I'm excited because, the things that I love doing now, I'm hoping that I'll be able to do the opposite, maybe get assigned to come back and help a lot of you out, be one of your guides. And so that's what I have some excitement that's like, ooh, I can do now go the other direction and help out. And that would be my favorite thing to do, because I'd be all in. Um, so we'll see. Yeah. Yep. And see, and Margaret saying, I asked my parents to come get my husband, and they did. Yes. Yep. Nicole, Archangel Azrael, he is the angel of death. He comes to fetch you. Yeah, there is some of that. Yep. Yep. I've heard some NDE stories of Yeshua, and they're at the time at their NDE. Okay. Yep. So yeah, yeah, right, Margaret. Yeah, only if you're healthy. You're right. But like I said, we got a few minutes left, but I'm trying to make sure, and part of me being, you know, seeing my energy come up, is I want you guys to really understand that it's not the worst thing in the world. Yes, you may feel that you're being, if it's your time or it's somebody else, it's never easy, because we do care about those of us that are around us. We never want to see those that we love leave. And even for yourself, I mean, you don't want to go, you want to hang out, you're, whether you just feel like you still want to contribute more or whatever the case may be. But I really wanted to make sure that it came across that, don't be afraid of it. Even you might still have to take like some of the stuff I've talked about or rewatch it and just understand that, and think about it on your own, and just realize that it's not, the end of, of everything. It's not going to go completely dark. And, you, you, you could certainly, uh, show a better attitude towards it, I guess, is one way to put it. But just feel don't you feel at ease with it. You might not have to be as excited as I am. Sounds bad when I'm excited to die, but um which is, it's like I said, I don't have any intentions of leaving anytime soon. But it's just, the thing is, I trying to make sure that I'm in the best possible mental state at any given time, that if it happens today or happens tomorrow or next year, that I'm okay with it. And I understand, sure, I would have loved to have continued on and been around to see, important events in my family's lives, but sometimes we have a mission, and you come here, and once you figure out what your mission is, what you're supposed to do, or how you're supposed to help. Like with everything I'm doing, you know, where you know sometimes I wonder, I mean, you throw it out there real quickly and be like, you know what? Maybe, as much help that I am doing and sharing information and helping everybody feel comfortable about stuff that, will I reach a pinnacle? you know, will I reach my mountaintop? And then it's like, well, you've done all you can do. We need you on this side to work, down this direction. So that has come up a couple times because I'm like, well, just don't make it right now, but that's just me, being um, a little bit more trying to be upbeat about things and make sure that I've, can keep doing what I'm doing and reach out to as many as I can, and I'm not saying I'm going to be able to reach everybody in the world. There's plenty of other people that are, that do this. And so, if I could add a little piece to the pie, that's all that matters to me. But yeah, I mean, I'll be doing I'll be doing all this as long as I possibly can, and enjoy the process, along the whole thing. So, uh, but so yeah, let's see, Margaret. One more thing before I close up. That's cool. I heard some of your energy stays in the spirit realm when you. Well, yeah, and that's the thing is, really fast. I mean, it's amazing that and I've talked about it before, I believe, but why is it there's things that we enjoy? Why is it there's passions? Why is it there's loves of things? Hobbies, cultures, and things. What is that? Why do you so connected to these things? And it's always been my belief, and I've now had others that are like thought about it, and they're like, yeah, I could see that, but like, you know, you're so connected to that stuff. It's because you were a part of it. You know what I mean? You guys know that Native Americans and Scandinavian, the Viking stuff, and even other cultures that I've been fascinated with. Um, England, Scotland, Ireland. I mean, these were things that I just could not get enough of, and I know darn well that I was a part of those cultures at some point. And because why else would I be into it? There's no reason for it. It was just like instantly you're in love with it. And so I think that goes the same with a lot of things. Is you're gonna have those memories that are gonna surface back up. Now you don't understand them. Like I said, I don't know why I truly like them. You know what I mean? Why did I like this, or why did I like? I don't know. But that's when I think back. I'm like, well, I had to have been a part of it some way. Whether I lived it or whatever. But at least there's some connection there, and I think that goes a long way. So, and Jen started popping up in my awareness in various places and indie experience here. And now you're talking about crossing over. I'm curious to see why this is all coming up for me now. Well, Jen, we'll have a discussion later. So, it's probably useful information. At least that's what I'm hearing. Just much needed information. Yep. So, but yeah, okay. So we're a few minutes over, but this was fun. I mean, you can see, I knew it was a time to bring this up because it just kept calling to me, earlier in the week, and it's a good time for it. It's, well, not that it's a good time, but I mean, it was a good time for it to, bring up and discuss, and to kind of really throw it out there that, again, it's not the worst thing in the world. you know, there's so many more cool things that are in store for all of us when we leave this plane. So don't let it get to you. You know what I mean? If you could throw a little bit of excitement in there like me, then it's not so bad. But I still recognize, I still understand that, those of us that don't want to see a loved one go, or have experienced a loved one go, and it's still rough and they're grieving and so I get all that. It makes sense. And we just try to do what we can and support everybody through those moments and stuff. And like I said, when you really care about somebody and they are now gone, yeah, I mean, it's a big missing piece, but at some point you're going to join them, and it's going to be an amazing, experience. And even then it's just going to be, like I said, I'm excited about it, and I can't say it enough. And so hopefully that helps out a little bit. Like I said, it again, that a lot of people have questions on it all the time, and so it's, I think it was the right time to bring this up and kind of get this out there for people. So obviously, if anybody that might be interested in it, you guys can always share the video out, to help others and make them see it, and try to give them a little bit more insight and make them at least think, you know what I mean, and not always think that everything is going to be so bad, especially when it's somebody or when it's your time. So um yeah, let's see. And then Julie, interesting conversation. Had a lovely weekend. And you too, Julie. Thank you so much. Um, right, Margaret. Yeah. Ramona, thank you. Absolutely loved your message. Cool. And thank you, Deborah. Yep. Thank you, Deborah. Nicole. So yeah, oh my gosh, like always, it's always great to see everybody hanging out in the morning. Glad you can start your day with me and we can all just kind of talk about some stuff and share some great comments, great questions today. And it's I appreciate all that and the love and support again, with me being sick the other week and now, finally getting back into the swing again. And now my schedule's, starting to open up. So we're moving, a lot more things on the way and a lot more cool, stuff to share with everybody. And we're going to have some fun. Like I said, on Wednesdays, and we're going to continue to have fun and keep doing these shows. And so, yeah, so it was great, great, great. So Kelly, this was a perfect message today. Thanks. Seems like I have a message to give as well. Yeah, we do. I mean, everybody, we're all in this together. You know what I mean? No matter how much we avoid certain things and we're trying not to pay attention to certain things. I'm not going to say it because, you don't want to get flagged or anything, but there's a lot of misconceptions and we're really all a part of the greater scheme of life in general. It's not just here, it's universal. And we got to stop letting others tell us how to think. Like I said, we can all come hang out and we can all have a great conversation, and everybody can share something, even if it's, maybe you don't believe in something, but that's okay too. We're allowed to do that. You know what I mean? But we can all share what we know and we can listen to both sides and still be happy about it. You know what I mean? So let's just continue to hang out and support each other and whatever it is. We don't have to be best friends, but we can all enjoy each other's company and existence that we all are here at this moment in time together. And that's a beautiful thing, is just to be able to see it. Even if you don't really care for somebody, it doesn't matter. We're all get to share, a moment together, whether you like it or not, but it's just that moment. So so anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to let you guys go enjoy the rest of your day. I'm definitely going to be getting a nap because I was up pretty late last night. So I was getting some, at least one nap in today. You know what I mean? And even if it's 15 minutes, I'm going to be pretty happy about that nap. So, but other than that, yeah, let's have a great weekend. Enjoy it. As always, stick your heads out the windows. Even if it's cold outside, stick your head out there, take a couple deep breaths, let go of anything it shouldn't be there, and enjoy it. Do whatever you got to do to put that smile on your face. Or if this is the only smile you got today laughing at my expense, that's okay too. I'll take it. So you guys are so cool and awesome, and thank you for being here today. So exactly, Jen. So Tanya, Nicole, thank you. So yes, so I'm gonna get out of here. You guys enjoy your weekend. Thank you so much for being here. You've been watching the Mid-Morning Medium Chat with Anna the Black Swamp Medium. I will see you next time, and as always, all my love, light, and peace to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much.